I like him. I'm like a little kid. And I'm like, I want to go on a second date, and I can't because he's going on a date with another girl, which is what I signed up for, and I don't know why, because I'm crazy.
Hey guys, welcome to the Get Up. Today we're talking Farmer Wants a Wife, episode 3.
That's right, the boys are back.
Mm-hmm.
Got another episode of mediocrity going on here.
This time, going to the rodeo.
Yeah, love me some rodeo, man.
Do you now?
Yeah, I grew up in Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've been to rodeo a few times.
You've been to this particular one?
Even out here, I go to, every now and then PBR comes into town. We go out here and watch it. It's good.
Rodeo is definitely an experience.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You've never been to a rodeo, have you?
That would be my first rodeo.
Yeah.
If you ever went to one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People riding horses, I don't get it.
It's fun, man.
They're riding bulls.
They're trying to, they were riding horses.
Well, they're broncs. Those are broncs. Yeah, they're riding
Yeah,
broncs.
but-
And
Well,
they
they
also
ain't
had
bulls.
But they had the bull riding on there too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I fell asleep. It was boring.
That's what I'm saying. One's like
Yeah,
a big
they had
part
the
of
bull
it.
riding too. They had bull riding and the broncs on there.
Yeah.
So the show's back. Got the 4 gentlemen here. They're kind of conversing. And then Ryan's like, you kiss any of them? Because I've been making out with all of them.
Right, man. I haven't tasted them all.
And they're like, no,
The guys,
just you, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and then Alan realizes, he's like, wait, I'm the only one that sent somebody home?
He's like, what?
Yeah,
And then he's like, well, if you know, you know. And they're like,
Yeah.
damn, we must. And then they're all like, we must be behind on the times.
yeah, which is kind of odd because you would think 3 of them doing something. Maybe he was behind, but
Yeah.
they're like, oh man,
Yeah.
maybe I need to step up,
That's
kicking
right.
some of these women off.
He's making
Especially
cuts.
with the attitude of some of them in this episode.
Oh, yeah,
so.
no doubt, man.
And I don't
Can I just ask you if you're really here to find somebody?
Well, you got the attitude, but
Mhm.
let's just be real here, because this is what they're kind of putting out there is it's a dating show that these guys are dating these 5 women, but these 5 women are also dating this guy.
Mhm.
Like it's a two-way street. He has to give something,
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
and they all, well, I don't know about all, but a lot of them are conversing, saying they don't feel like they're getting anything back from him. They're opening up, telling about their lifestyle, their background, but they're not really learning anything about them.
yeah, that seemed to be the general theme of this episode,
Yeah.
man. Amongst the women,
Yeah.
anyway.
Now, does this show have like a poor setup for these women? Like,
So was he?
they're like yearning to go on these dates. Should they not like have scheduled dates with each of them?
Yeah, well, so thing I'm wondering, right? So when this episode started, this says it's a week, right? This is like day 7 now that they've been living in the house. And it's like, you mean out of 7 days, these guys ain't had time to pull these chicks to
Wow.
the side and talk to them for a little bit? Yeah, that's what I didn't get. I was like, damn, it's been a week and these guys are still not giving these girls quality time.
Maybe,
at that point, it's on the guys, I
They haven't
think.
been there an
Yeah.
entire week because maybe we don't know the gap of them getting there or something.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but if they've actually all been in that house for a week, then that's on those dudes for not just taking the not taking the time to
Yeah.
pull each one of those women's sides. I kind of agree with the women on that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too, and I see where they're frustrated, but
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get much time on these type of shows normally. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're ready to riot at this point.
That's right. I'm ready to walk out. Yeah.
Getting ready to protest.
Some of them are
on
even
the
getting like
strike.
kind of bad attitudes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah,
Zoe just fucking let it rip on Landon, man. She said, "Look, dude, you ain't freaking."
yeah, she like took
Yeah.
him aside, put him in the corner,
That's right.
like counseled
That's right.
him. Like,
But
look,
I like that he kind of like he firmly like stopped that. She's like, I'm frustrated. He's like, yeah, I get that. He's like, but it's not conducive to us getting to know each other if you're just gonna be like,
Right. Yeah. And,
angry at me. So
and they seem to talk through it pretty well.
They
And
did.
then he even admitted afterward on the one-on-one with the camera, he's like, she's right. I could probably do a better job putting myself out there and doing what I need to do to get to know these women better. So it was good that he at least acknowledged it, right? So.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I wonder if they should be going on individual dates instead of all of them going to the same place, like this rodeo, where he's sitting like he can only sit next to like 2 people.
Mhm.
So I mean, so some people are going to get more time in that than others. So
yeah, but he definitely was leaning towards one person.
Oh yeah.
He was, yeah.
And not towards Talia.
Yeah, he was having conversations with Stephanie, I think
Yeah,
it was,
Stephanie, yeah.
and he was really talking to her and like explaining stuff to her. And then Talia would ask questions. He's like,
It's a bull. It's a bull.
Well, and I feel
He
for
was supposed to do
Talia
that.
because she's not familiar with this stuff, and she's trying to ask him questions, and he almost seems a little like annoyed with the question, maybe because they're not great questions, but
She's
like
just
it's
trying
a
to
new
get
process to her, and she's
involved,
trying.
Well, but the thing is, the other girl was the same thing. I mean, he's explaining from scratch to her how the rodeo
Exactly.
works and all this stuff, So bottom line is she's just not into Talia. That's really what it amounts to.
And that was very obvious. And of
Mhm.
course, the background music and the editing really helped
Right.
clue
Yeah.
all of us viewers in on that. And Talia was picking up on it, obviously,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is when she had that conversation.
And maybe he had the girl to the left ask him questions, and maybe the girl to the right asked him similar questions. He's like, geez, I just explained this to this girl over here.
Yeah, that's true. That could be as well.
Do they not explain these things at the rodeo? How it goes? They just let it rip.
Were they supposed to have like a little
They need a
briefing
pamphlet. They need like a little pamphlet.
Do
like,
not ask your farmer questions about the
Right.
proceedings. Please refer to your pamphlet.
Then Ryan, man. Now Ryan, he's really into that one chick, man. Gets a rose and he's like, "Hey, baby, you want to do this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awkward, right? Because he's like, "Don't show this to the camera or anybody." And she's
Yeah.
like, "It's on the
Yeah,
camera."
he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this off camera." She's like, "Baby, we're on camera." Right? He's like, "Oh shit."
You a rose,
What's a rose? For what?
and I wanted to keep it off camera, so I was like,
Well, baby, it's on camera.
Yes.
Look.
Which does make me wonder, is that his number one, or is he doing stuff off camera successfully with other ones?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, is she the one that he took on the date originally? I don't think she is on his
No,
original
but
date.
he has kissed her
Yeah,
before.
but he has kissed her. But then when it comes to choosing a date this time, he doesn't choose her. So it's like he just bought her a rose, but then he doesn't choose her to go on a
Well,
date.
He's
so.
got to give everyone a fair
Yeah.
shake. Come on.
Yeah, well, I think the smart thing here is to choose the person who you spent the least amount of time
Well, of
with.
course.
Yeah.
Especially getting ready to possibly kick someone off, even though one person goes.
Maybe
on the
they
show,
were
but-
also clued in on, like, hey, the girls are really getting upset here. Like,
Right.
calculate how much time you've had with whoever's got the least. You should take that one.
Mhm, yeah, give him some time.
And then I guess if you've gone on a date recently, you can expect like it's going to be a while since you go on
Yeah,
another.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I do think that, like, because, Cassidy Joe seems to be really falling
Joe,
for
yeah,
her
girl.
farmer. And, when he's sitting there picking, he only has 4 to pick from,
Mhm.
and I don't know if she was holding out hope that he would pick her, because, like, you
He's
have
already-
had
yeah,
a
you already had your
one-on-one
date.
date with her.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, they didn't show her reacting to that part,
Mhm.
but I feel like it's expected if I were her that he would choose
I
somebody
tell
else.
you, Alan might be the smart one, sending one home, and
Uh-huh.
now he doesn't have to divide his time as much.
That's
Yeah.
true, exactly.
So-
Well, then of course, Cassidy Joe pulls on the side of her little one-on-one, and she's like, "I just want to kiss you. Can I kiss you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm trying to make sure I keep it fair amongst everybody here." And she's like, "Are you saying you're not going to kiss me?" He's like, "Well, not yet." Not yet.
Which I think is smart because, like,
Right.
everyone can see it. So,
And he ain't trying to be Ryan, exactly.
and maybe if you're
Yeah.
on a 101, maybe that's the time to ask or something like that.
Right? Yeah. No,
Right.
absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the wrong time for her to ask because it's pretty apparent at this point that those 3 guys, Landon, Hunter, and Alan, are all definitely more reserved, right? I mean, Ryan just throws himself out there. He don't care. He's gonna make out with whoever in front of in front of anybody. But the other 3 guys aren't like that. So
Well, you don't just buy a car without test driving it, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with test driving that car.
Hey, that's just the first step to intimacy. So.
That's what he said. Yeah. And he's right.
These references we got to another show,
Yeah,
guys.
he's absolutely
Yeah.
right. So yeah, man, you gotta get some kisses in, but there's all, like you said, there's the right place for it, and right there in front of all the other girls, it probably ain't it. So
Yeah. So, what do we think? What do we think about Talia going home? And how
And
that was
that
handled?
was inevitable, right? We saw that coming, especially like we were saying a minute ago, the way the conversations went at the rodeo when he was pretty much completely ignoring her.
Yeah.
So yeah, Talia is going home. There ain't
But
no way
I
in hell
thought
she's
it was
staying around.
handled very well by both parties. I mean, she was upset at the end and cried, privately, and but I feel like she handled it well, and she took it and received it well,
Mhm.
and she approached it well. Like, hey, just tell
Let me
me,
know how you feel. Yeah,
and then he was
and kudos to him for being honest, right?
exactly,
Yeah, absolutely.
because that's uncomfortable. I'm sure it was uncomfortable for him to give her that rejection, and it's
Mhm.
uncomfortable to sit there and receive it, especially knowing you're on camera. And but they were both very graceful about it. So
Yeah,
I like
no,
that.
I agree. They both handled it very well.
So, do you think Hunter sends another person home since he just sent her home? When next
He
episode?
might
I don't
send home Zoe.
See, I think I think he's going to give Zoe a little more of a shot now. I think that was kind of eye opener. And it was Zoe wasn't.
Yeah,
Zoe
that was
Landon.
Landon.
That was Landon.
You get no
That was
confusion.
That was Landon,
again.
yeah.
Jeez, my
But
goodness.
I don't think Hunter's going to send anybody else home right now at this point. I don't. I think he's down to the 4 that he likes now. I think he wants to give them all a shot and kind of talk to them all. So.
Be interesting to see if Alan just keeps ripping through them.
Right. Yeah.
I think when you get down to 3, that's probably decently managed. Like 5's probably a lot. So
What's
game
the
might
name of the
change.
girl that was wearing orange that Alan chose?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
I think he.
Oh, he's
she's
into
his
her.
number 1.
Yeah, Shell definitely. He made that pretty clear whenever he
Yeah.
was talking about her. So.
And I like how she handled her interruption.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that other girl came and interrupted. When it's funny how Alan even remembered that. When they
He
were like
referenced
it when they're like, hey,
Yeah.
so who you choosing for your date? He's like, well, I was having a good conversation with this young lady. That this other young lady decided to interrupt. He's
Not,
like,
and that was fine.
right. Yeah. So I'd like to finish that original conversation. Yes, he handled that well.
Yeah, and I don't think she handled that comment very well.
Right. No, of course not.
But
But that was rude as hell of her for to go in there and break that up anyway, right? She should have just waited.
have you ever watched The Bachelor? Have you ever watched
Oh, I
this?
know.
They do
I
it
know.
all the time.
I know.
It's how are you gonna get your time? Like, are you gonna sit there and wait for that conversation to end? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I don't know, through editing, again, we don't know how long they were sitting there talking.
Right.
Like, you don't just, like, watch them go off and have a minute or 2 conversation and say, I'm going to go interrupt it. But, like, if they've been over there for 10, 15 minutes and be like, hey, do you mind if I have a turn? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think she should have waited. I think she should have waited. It'd probably been received much better if she'd have waited.
So we recently took a poll, and most people seem to be liking Landon the best. Do you guys agree with that?
So on the poll, I voted for Landon, but now I'm kind of leaning more towards almost after the conversation we just had, kind of more leaning toward Alan because just the way he's handling it,
I know, which
Yeah.
is weird because
Yeah.
Alan was like very awkward for me at
Yeah.
first. I was like, awkward?
But now that we
But-
talked about it, it's like maybe he did do the right thing, sending somebody home early, just trying
Yeah.
because he's able to give more time to the other ones. It's like kind of like what
I
Alan did
kind of
there.
like Alan too.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I didn't think I would say that.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in voting, make sure you get subscribed, use the
Yeah.
app, and check out our poll, and let us know who your favorite is.
That's right, absolutely. And I guess the question here, Josh, is that changeable? Can we go in there and change our votes?
I don't think so.
Man, that'd have been great.
Well, we could do a
You're
new poll.
reneging?
We could do week
We could do
2
all right, different poll. Yeah,
or
'cause
week 3, whatever.
Yeah, I
week
would
3
definitely,
now,
I'd definitely
week
be
3
switching
new
my
poll.
vote now.
There
But
you go.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, so far it's pretty good. I don't think I saw as much out of this episode as I'd like to. I'd like to gotten a little more out of it. It's pretty, like I said, mediocre episode.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird too. Like, it seems like every other episode they're trying to send someone home. So
Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
this one, that never came up. But Talia just kind of basically sent herself home. With conversation she had with Hunter. So
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, I guess if there's one way of doing it, I guess that's the best way instead of like having to sit there with the girls and have to pick one. At least that one, she pulled him aside and they got to have
Yeah.
a private conversation and then chose to leave, on mutual terms. So I think that's actually the better way to send somebody home if you're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that worked out well for him.
True.
But what? 2 farmers still have 5.
That's right. Yeah.
We're on week 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you guys see Ryan sending anybody home anytime soon? I think Ryan's having too good of a time.
Ryan's not going to send anyone home. He's waiting for them to say, I'm leaving.
Right. All right, but seriously though, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we appreciate you guys watching, and please let us know what you think. And like Josh said, hit up that poll, especially after this episode, because I wish I could change my vote, but I guess maybe I can't. But hey, like I said, we enjoy this. We love you guys. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll check you in our next review.
See you guys.
See ya. Why are you asking me? I'm not allowed to have an opinion. I'm not allowed to say anything.
What do we think about the girls wanting to be pursued, though?
This fucking guy. This guy. Like, is he ever even in this conversation?
What do you think about Lily? You know what I'm saying?
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Cut it.
out.
Cut it out. What's that from? Tell me.
Cut it out.
You hit me with your boob. That hurt.
Can we trade spots?
It's like a wrecking ball coming in. Going to the rodeo. You ever been to the rodeo, Bill?
I have been to
Can we
rodeo
stop?
several times.
That was, the energy was wrong. I didn't. I was
That was
not
pretty high.
That was
pretty
good,
high.
man.
Yeah,
That was good. What you talking
I
about?
was not
We
biting.
can't cut this out. We're natural. Keep it going. All right. So.
No, we're just gonna cut that out. I didn't feel the energy.
What energy?
I wasn't vibing. I didn't feel the energy.
You didn't even say anything.
I know, you didn't say anything yet. So you're like, can we time out here, guys.